Do you know the saying, brown food is good food? You know, like brownies and chocolate and the sear marks on steak, right? Brown food is good food. Well, so today I have two brown ales. Well, technically a brown ale and a red ale, but effectively, those are often essentially the same thing. These are two beers from the same brewery, very, very local to me, Dick's Brewing Company of Centralia, Washington, just a hop, skip, and a jump south of me. It'll be Dick Danger Ale, their flagship beer, and Dick's Irish Style Red Ale. It's a double header. So let's do the red ale first. So Irish Style Red Ale, I'm expecting it to be very malty. The roastiness can be present, but it shouldn't really be a dominant aspect of the beer. And while it is very malty, it should be a dry maltiness. I think the primary characteristic that I have noticed of Irish beers and Irish whiskeys and other such Irish adult beverages is that the maltiness is a dominant characteristic. However, it is not a sweet maltiness. It is going to be dry, which is an interesting and unique taste. It's what sets the Irish drinks apart in my experience. So you'll have that brown breadiness, but it's not going to be sweet, which isn't super common. Anyways, so this is an Irish style red ale. And yeah, it's pretty much red. It's a very fetching color. It's a kind of almost a deep copper. To the nose, yeah, rich, bready malts. It smells a little bit sweet, but not too much. Yeah, it's malty, very malty. If there are any hops, they're earthy and subtle, to the nose at least. This is a good beer. It's a very tasty beer. You get that malty breadiness right up front, and it carries through all the way to the end. Big, like strong malty breadiness without being sweet. Once again, it's like a really nice piece of bread that just doesn't have much sugar in it. Sweet sugar, that is. It also has a very nicely balanced roastiness, which I think adds a very nice counterpoint to that maltiness, just adds some variety. It makes the beer feel relatively thick, but it's not really a heavy beer by any standard. It's really nice. Because it's dry, I think that improves its drinkability. A lot of times with a sweeter beer, one and you're done, for me at least. You can enjoy it, but too much becomes too much really quickly. But with this being a drier maltiness, you have, you can enjoy it longer, I think, and probably more, to be honest. I don't see anything about ABV or anything on the can or on the bottle. I don't know, I'd guess it's 4, maybe 5%. It could be as high as 6. And it's kind of a rustic breadiness. There's a depth to the malt that's really pleasant. Yeah, I like the beer. That is a good beer. I give that beer a good solid 4 stars. Or is it 3 stars? 1 is bad. 2 is okay, but I don't like it. 3 is okay, but I like it. And 4 is good. Okay, I give that beer 3 stars. I have to remember my rating system. I give that beer 3 stars. Dick's Irish Style Red Ale, 3 stars, right? So let's try the Dick's Danger. Now this is their flagship beer. I don't recall how long Dick's Brewing Company has been around, but it's been a little while. And apparently this was one of the first beers they brewed. And this is significantly darker. This is almost a sorghum syrup. Yeah. I mean, you can see through it. There's a little bit of almost ruby note, or like a dark root beer. So you can see a little bit through it, but not very much. but that little bit you see through that's pretty cool. It has a lot of clarity despite being dark, right? It's not cloudy, so what you can see through it is kind of almost gem-like. I believe this is a brown ale. I don't recall actually what the official style is. I mean, it looks kind of like an English pub ale kind of thing. It smells earthier than the Irish style. Like there are some malts in there. And I mean, being significantly darker like this, roastier characteristics. You might even get a little bit of chocolate in at this level. Dark bread, maybe even like a rye bread or a crusty dark loaf kind of. But frankly, I'm getting like cut grass, but cut dry grass, not cut green grass, cut dry grass. Though I am also standing in my yard of freshly cut dry grass. So that might be that. There's a little bit of a woody character. And yeah, there's a smokiness, but it's very slight, and it's like hidden behind a little bit of a honey or some kind of vegetable syrup of some sort. Not made from vegetables, but as in from a plant. And now as I smell it more, the smokiness is definitely more present. But when I get the head back, that's more of the cut grass and just earthiness. Yeah. That is yet again a very tasty beer. I think it's even drier than the Irish style. The roastiness is not super present to the tongue yet. Instead, you get this, oh, there's a little bit of dark chocolate in there. Yeah. Earthy, like trees, forest kind of tastes, aromas, the tastes that correspond to a forest's aromas. I'm not sure. Earthy, a little bit complex. There's a little bit of sweetness, but very little. It's more like deep down, I think the smokiness, the roastiness, and that kind of earthy middle combine to produce a kind of a dark chocolate note. But then it does have this, it's a syrupy, there's some, the sweetness that's there has a woody character that is interesting to me. And it's really pleasant. Oh, and there's even some nuts, like some walnuts going on now. It's a lot of like brown and darker flavors going on here. Not confusing though, not convoluted. I'm just trying to find the name that corresponds, or the words that correspond to the flavor that I'm getting. Far more complex though than or not far more, but more complex than the Irish style red ale. This is a really, really pleasant beer. It's not so shouty that you feel it demands your attention. Like if you just put this in front, had a round of these with your friends at the bar or whatever, you're not going to feel constrained to focus on the beer. You are going to be able to enjoy conversation. You can just drink this, right? It's a nice middle beer, but it has enough like depth and complexity and layers to it that it will reward a bit of maybe introspective, quiet sipping as you are, or savoring as you are engaging in a more meditative activity possibly. I think if you put these two in front of me and ask me which one I would pick, I would definitely pick Dick Danger. Not that the Irish Style Red is not a good beer. It's a plenty good beer. I think this one, just with the extra depth and complexity, it's one I think I would generally pick above the other. Once again, it's a 3-star beer. They're both good beers, and I do enjoy them both. I think I just would pick the Dick Danger myself a little more often than the Irish Style Red. And I'm going to leave it at that. This is me, Matthew. I have been drinking and enjoying both Dick's Irish Style Red Ale and Dick Danger Ale, both by Dick's Brewing of Centralia, Washington, just a wee bit south of me. And I will catch y'all on the flip side.